Well, after 3 runs came across in the top of the first off of the pitches of Matt Teeting, it was a quick 1-2-3 top of the second for the junior righty. Is being looked at now by about a dozen schools, I've been told by his father ahead of time, and that's just in recent couple of weeks, really, and every bit of those are deserved. Back to the top of the order, and Seth Moss watches a breaking ball come in for a called strike. The sophomore center fielder is 1 for 1 today and came around to score back in the top of the first. And the 0-1 here it comes, and this one's low at the shoe tops for ball 2. Pardon me, ball 1. One and one the counts, glove to his face, and the kick and the delivery, the breaking ball. Just a bit high. 2 balls and 1 strike. The umpires, 4 of them today. Behind the plate is Rick Curvin, and this is fouled off back into the backstop. Evens up the count at 2-2. Rick Curvin behind the plate. Over at first is Mason Bowie. Second base is Doug Owens, and Kelly Talent over on the third base side. Rick Curvin and Doug Owens from the Alliance chapter, and from the Tyler chapter, Mason Bowie and Kelly Talent. These 2 crews have never worked together until tonight, as that one is spoiled back into the chain link that guards the grandstands here at J.J. Tillery Field, built in 1977, with the water tower overlooking right field here in Mesquite, Texas. And this is a tapper that rolls foul to the left side on a breaking ball. And Seth Moss stays alive. He was first pitch swinging when he knocked that into left field back in the first to reach on the single. And we're under the shadow of one of the largest radio towers, certainly in the state of Texas. Here on the eastern side of the Dallas Metroplex. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and nobody out here to Seth Moss. And he knocks this on a grounder through the legs of Jacob Speaker, and that dribbles into the outfield. And aboard for the second time today on an error now. As that's a classic case. We've talked about the, for lack of a better word, buoyancy of the infield here. It is a beautifully clipped grass in the outfield and in the foul territory, but it's artificial turf in the infield, and you see that, just a little hop, but that ball did have some eyes on it. And squaring up to Bumpa, pulling back, quick throw over to first, and back in time is Seth Moss. But here's the very dangerous Connor Carson, the shortstop freshman. And we mentioned went 4 for 4 in the area round victory, that 11-3 win over Frisco Legacy. 4 RBI, had a double in that, and even walked too. And he lays down a bunt right side and scooped up by Matt Teeting over to Cade Farr, 1 away. But that allows Seth Moss to get into scoring position with 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning. A 3-1 lead for the Guard. And yes, that is their moniker, namesake, mascot, if you will. Their logo varies. Sometimes it's a shield. And today, as you see on their jerseys, it's a cannon, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool mascot, the Guard. And high and inside for ball 1 to Josh Jenkins, the senior catcher, who is 1 for 1 today. And he singled to left. Back in the first. Came around to score. The second of the 3 runs on the board for Brook Hill. 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 away, and a runner in scoring position at second. This one low and outside on a slider for ball 2.
Hey, lock in, let's go. Get this guy.
As the wind has died down a little bit now, as the sun starting to set just over our right shoulder. along the right field side. It's out of the face of Matt Teeding now. And he throws a fastball. And this one speared by Andrew Bird, knocked down. He didn't glove it, but he kept it from going into the outfield. A diving play by Andrew Bird to knock that ball down on an infield single. Goodness gracious. But fortunate to do that, because that would have given an opportunity for Seth Moss to make it over to third. And take a look at this on that frozen rope, and just getting enough leather on it. He had it in the glove, but it rolled out as he hit the turf. So 1 out and runners at first and second for the Guard. As here comes the pitcher, Miguel Vega, who went yard to left field on the homer back in the first. And the pitch, this one low and away. And it was a first pitch swing of the bat for that home run back in the first for Miguel Vega. And Teeding, this one catches the outside half of the plate to even up the count at 1-1. On deck would be the left fielder, senior Campbell Fletcher, who was the third out, 0 for 1 today, back in the first. 1 away, 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 runners on at first and second for the Guard. Here comes Teeding, and this one fouled off the end of the bat, spoiled back into the parking lot, and actually drifting towards the top of the high school. I was informed that's Mesquite High School to our right. West Mesquite, yes. Okay. Told you, Roy. Roy producing back in the truck. Bless his heart. It's hot back there. And here comes the pitch, and the 1-2 is skied in the left field, but Will Shipman settles underneath it, and taking it and snagging it out from under him was Logan Britt. And all righty. Well, you know what? This is Logan's first time of the season in center field for the second out, and you know what? He hasn't used his wheels this year, so he wanted to check out his range perhaps a little bit. As we get a courtesy runner for Brook Hill over at first, and that is going to be Mason Kelly. And Mason Kelly's a sophomore over there at first, and he's running for Josh Jenkins, the catcher, at a late substitution. So. Here comes Campbell Fletcher, the aforementioned left fielder. And the senior waits for the opening offering, and he golfs this one. It's a chopper over to third, and Andrew Bird to Cade Farr in plenty of time. And that retires the side, and the scoring threat presented by the Guard here in the top of the third. So no runs come off of 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left stranded. To the home half of the third we go, and the Saints, well, they chipped away into that 3-1 lead an inning ago. Can they do a little more? We'll find out after this here at Texas24.net on the Texas 24/7 television network.